Hey guys, good afternoon. This is a continuation from the earlier video. Today, we have very clear things that we want to do. So, earlier today, we created this first filter row, and visually, it's perfect. Just a couple small things that we might need to tweak, but other than that, it's perfect with tabs. I really like it. So pretty happy with it. Today we are going to focus on adding the where clause or the condition clause. So right before the filter component there needs to be where or and or. So we're going to work on that. Then we're also going to work on making this button actually functional. And that means that we're going to wire up the state of the state of the component. So I'm very excited for that, and yeah, let's get going. I have a lot to build, so let's just break it down here. So we actually will not do that. We need to convert our filters into SQL. And then, but before that, we actually need to integrate into MobX state. There was a very interesting decision earlier that I had to do between having the state in the browser or crossing the chasm. Even though it's IPC, inter-parse communication, you should cross it. And initially, I wanted to just have everything maintained in the backend. To me, that just didn't feel natural. There were a lot of edge cases that felt weird. So replicating the state and using the backend as kind of a place to sync. So the way of building of having like the UI super interactive, code heavy, I actually think yields the best applications. And then you have your backend just operate as a simple CRUD that's super lightweight and super customizable, super flexible for different use cases. So that's what we ended up doing. So that's what we're going to integrate into the MobX state. And then we're also going to add the where clause. So add the condition clause. So what that looks like is we're going to, you saw here, so here we did row and then equals. It would be nice, yeah, to have a little bit of a star, like a search star, but not the biggest issue right now. I think let's just solve. So this is the where /and/or. And in terms of the UI, I don't think it belongs as part of here. Sadly, I think it actually needs to live outside. So it's really, really good. I think it's really, really clean, personally. So, okay, let's start coding. So the first thing that we're gonna do is, I haven't used any UI for this, AI, sorry, for this. So in terms of the filter row, I think there's another component, which is the condition. In a weird way, so if we look at our data, So this is going to be called a condition clause, which I think will be part of the filter row. So this will be the following. If this will take an index, and I had written this code somewhere, I just can't find it. Oh, I think it's actually in my GitHub. It's in a gist. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't even think this is correct. So the condition clause, this renders if the index is 0, then you're going to return where. And in a way, I kind of want some children. Yeah, I think it makes sense to have that. No children. Forget about children for a second. So let's see. This will just be like this. And then otherwise it is a condition. But it is optional. Yeah, it is optional, so then otherwise it's gonna be, no, it's gonna still be a selector, and I think the selector will be the following, very similar to this implementation. In a way, I almost think that the selector is kind of gimmicky. You maybe want like an action icon or a simple button that just toggles. Like, wouldn't it be cool to just do the following? Const toggle. And or so this will be the condition. You can't supply a default. So let's just take a look. So let's see what this looks like. So Yeah, the way I would do this is I would have to abstract this all the way to the top. And I would have to abstract this part out. Can you shut up, cursor, please? Nice. And then I would need to add a condition clause here with an index. And we'll have to see what that looks like. So let's take a look. And then flex. Yep, this looks pretty good. In a way, so text small is 12 and base is what? Base is 13. No, I think you kind of need to stay with the same. Okay, and if I added I keep on toggling, so let's do cursor and then back to electron. I really like this. The only delta is I just needed to take the same amount of real estate that it would take otherwise. And I kind of want to have this one underlined. And you need to make that important. Let's take a look at Airtable again. Yeah, let's have it have a so there's a different variant called outline, which I think is what we would be looking for. Except I don't like this outline. I kind of want a gray outline, so maybe color. Yeah, you maybe want maybe just subtle and then have this one have a border and border gray 200, and then you don't need rounded because it's already rounded, and you probably need the nice. I think this looks decently well. I don't think you need the underline now that you have this, so fantastic. I think it looks pretty good. Do you think it needs to be bold? Or do you think it needs to be normal? I think it needs to be bold, but I also think that it almost needs some color. And I'm also gonna recommend that we shift the 200 pixels that we've outlined. We're gonna shift this to have 150. So this is 10 times, so it's actually, so one is 4 pixels, so it's 10, so it's 40. So this is 40. Just because it's easier to see. So then 40, so that's 200. Let's make this 160 so the math can be easy. So that's 200, and then this can be yeah, let's see if we give this a color. What if we give this a color? Okay. I like the idea of color. I just definitely don't think this is the right one. I also am wondering if this can just be a button. So let me see. And I think it would be nice to have a color for the let's see, BG. Like, do we need to tell this that this can flex 1? Yep, I thought so too. Okay, in terms of this thing, we need to fix the width of it, so let's say, let's give this at least 30. Okay, we can afford to go a little less. We'll fix that, I think. Space I. Past the index. What about this? Yeah, do you not want the font to be bold? Yeah, maybe it definitely needs text center, please. Either or, like. So let me see. Let me see. So this is the text center. If we go here, yeah, it's centered. I think that looks good. I think that looks good. In terms of it being bolded or a different color, I'm actually not too sure about that. I think the bolding is enough. I think the hover of the indigo is also nice. And I'm happy to bump it up to 200. And let's see. Can we make it such that when the condition changes, the text slides from left to right? Let's see. That would be cool, I think. I think this is incorrect. Can we use motion to achieve this? Or just pure tailwind CSS? What are other transition ideas that could work? Do you need to have both of them rendered, or can you just change it when the condition changes in one div? Let's take a look. Nope, I don't see anything. I don't think it's working. Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out. I wish we could do, I think and is way cleaner. What about if you do and all caps? No, it's too much. Now, I'm not too sure, so I understand the rationale why when it's and you can only change the first one and after that it's kind of static. I understand why that is the case, because this is probably the reason. if we come and take a look here, the reason is if I have x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3, right? And now if I put an OR, z is equal to 7. So in a way, the way this looks is it's something like this, or really something like this, and then you have your OR. So you almost need like a separate clause. But we know that, and SQL engines know that, but it is confusing to a lot of people. So I guess the confusion arises when, so why would it be confusing? It'd be confusing because the user could assume that they have certain groupings, like they could assume that this is what's happening, right? They could assume this. And they don't know where you're putting the brackets, so that's why you kind of want to keep the UI structured like that. Most cases, and that's why in Excel it actually works, is because most cases you're doing an AND of a search as opposed to an OR. So it's actually going to be fine. It's just important to call out. But this is starting to look solid. It's perfect. We might have to just increase the spacing. So here I have spacing as this. And it's looking a lot better. It's very, very nice. Yeah, definitely if I had a pane, first of all, it'd be a lot smaller. And then if I add any nested thing, it's gonna push in very awkward ways. So I think that this makes sense. Here's what I will say. You have a lot of real estate on the right-hand side of, you could either render SQL, could render SQL. If we were to have SQL mode, probably a button here that's like something like SQL, changes to SQL. Makes sense, but keep in mind that you could have this open so I wouldn't eliminate that as an option. I think it's fine for now. So we'll keep that implementation. So that implementation means that if you are not let's take a look at what it does it look like if this thing is disabled. I still am against this idea of like, I understand its rationale, but it's unsettling. It feels wrong. It feels wrong. So, because let's take a look if we add another one. Yeah. And overflow Y. Auto as well. Yeah, I agree with that, because then if your index is greater than 1, okay, yeah, I think this is fine. So if this is not it, then we're just gonna return in a div. I think I'm gonna do the cond. With the same width, width is 50 rounded, and literally the same exact thing, but it's just not gonna have an on click. And I wonder if you can use the same, let's see. I should be able to use the same thing. So you can say that this is disabled if the index is greater than 1, and then what if it's disabled? Then the border is none. The other option is, yeah, the other option is you do and then it creates a filter group for you, which might be interesting to test that. So if SQL supports that, why would you come in and so you want to assume that your user base understands the and oring situation. Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, I think they do. Let's just not do that. But then does that mean that my implementation here is wrong? Right, because we have type as the logical operator, and then we have all the children. we can ask, is this the best representation? Well, it is nice because like I said, I think if you do and yeah, because how would you know it's at the same level or deeper? Expression round, one of them is going to be a yeah, if it has one or more, if it has one or more children, then it needs to be has one or more children, then it needs to be you're gonna render it, because I'm thinking that you'll have, like, let's take the example that we gave, right? Back to my project notes. Look, let's take this example. So if you just write it like this, then your operator, let's make sure we're using, so the type here is going to be and it's going to have a set of children, and each of these child is x is equal to 1. It's also y is equal to 3, but then it'll have another type that is and, that's or, and it'll have its own children. And what you're telling me is always if, but then what if the user had created a filter group? If the user had created a filter group, this would be y is equal to 7, right? That's how you would represent this, which is fine, but what I'm saying is you need to know the distinction between this versus or, comma, y is equal to 7. So okay, let's proceed with this assumption. Kind of like it, and I'm sure there is a reason for this, and I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna use my naivete here that yeah, let me see if I were to write, let's see, given a function that inputs a logical expression between can convert to valid SQL. Let's see what it does. Okay, so then let's try, I think we have access to O3 Mini. Let's see. Critique this implementation and suggest a better one. This modeling and suggest a better one if there are any flaws in design. This is meant to represent filtering in the UI. I should just be saying these things, it's way faster. It's also a lot slower. At least it's way slower in cursor. Interesting. Just called it a group node. Yeah, I think I like this one being field. So then if I were to say expression like this, oh, interesting. So I even got it wrong. Yep, I understood that part. Yeah, I think that's why. Let's proceed with that implementation. And again, just let your ego go. This is a moment. This is a moment. Acting like a guru. This is a moment. Take a moment. You need to believe that the people building Airtable, that have been building it for how many years is Airtable founding date? 2012. 10 years. You have to assume that Howie, Lou, and team know something about why they made this decision. So even though it might aesthetically look better to have it like this, just trust that we're gonna just implement it the same way. So okay, so then we're gonna do the same logic. If it's disabled, I'm not gonna even make it a button then. Only if index is 1, I'm gonna pass this. Otherwise, I'm gonna return a div with the condition and then a couple more things, and that's kind of it. Because there's additional logic. I'm not gonna even attempt to attach the handler for people to mess around with my logic. And I'm not gonna have a border in this case. So let me just close this. Let's see what's happening here. So active on click. Cool. I am wondering if 50 is too large. Can we try 40? 5? Yeah, this looks a lot better, I think. And yeah, this guy is 45. Perfect. So yeah, this looks good. Imagining it. Might expand it a bit. Because if you look at how yeah, exactly. So I want to be able to add a condition group from within here. Essentially the next node for it to be a condition group. Because you can't even do that, really. You can't do that here if you want your next node to be a condition. Well, no, so you can create a condition group and then drag it wherever you want. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Again, let's not improvise. For now, just copy until we get more data. We don't have enough data. The only data we have is the data they have gathered, so just trust that. So you do this, and then you can do, within this, you can do other condition groups. Okay, so, yep, that is loud and clear. So let's add a condition. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, it's the same exact model. So, very good. I'm surprised that I'm just creating my own buttons now, not using Mantine for that. I think I have like very strict UI sizing guides, even the select, right? Pretty well. Okay. So it's pretty good. Let's commit this. It's looking pretty fire. Let's commit this. Cool. So this is, yeah, looking very good. So we've achieved this one. Now we need to start integrating MobX state. So this one I'm pretty excited about. Let me see something. 1 moment. Okay. Yeah, integrating MobX state is not that trivial, but I'm pretty excited because we added this list state. I want to start using it, so I'm gonna take a look how this if I were to go to services and in my TRPC, if I were to add in the TRPC client, if I were to add a client with a cache, so I actually did that yesterday. TRPC, and then it had to add a bunch of stuff. Had to add a bunch of stuff here, and I don't even know if that works. Let's see. So let me copy this. This was the implementation it gave me. Cached trpc dot data sources. Yep, this is perfect. So that actually works pretty well. Alright, this is gonna take a while to figure it out, so I'm actually going to step away. We'll resume this tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, the name is The Sphinx.